Will the rematch curse exist? Well, potentially. As we have to the top right-hand side, our blue Terran player is time. Bottom left-hand side. Our red Protoss player is Zest. You guys are really going hard on this conversation of being a pro, or I don't even really follow it, but like it's I mean cool convo, guys. I've been trying to read it, like I just can't keep up because you guys are really debating it hard, and you have been for like 20 minutes. You guys have some passion on this one. I like it. It's better than some of the conversations we have in the chat about things. SCV goes across the map and does have a little bit of a bad time. Started to build the racks, but then got scouted, so he cancelled it, immediately built it at home instead. And that's obviously a little bit of a shame for him. So slowed down racks, he has an opening and time in a bit of a weird spot now because he has the gas to afford a factory, afford a Reaper, but doesn't actually have the barracks, so I'll probably just throw down a command center here, maybe? I actually don't know. Probably not, because he does have to build a factory, a Reaper, and an orbital. So he has a lot of minerals right now. Obviously, in a few moments, he'll be able to spend it all. Or a lot of it. So we're on the way. Orbital will start up. Factory drops down. Honestly, I mean, I'm just going to chip in on this conversation. I honestly think that if you want to try and go pro or something, as long as you're not giving up your life to do it, like, I think if, like, I mean, for example, like, when I finished university, I decided to do full-time streaming, and I wasn't in a position where my stream was going to actually support me full-time or anything, but I figured I'd give it a year and see how it went, right? So I think honestly, I think if you want to try and be a pro or something, which I think is what you guys are discussing, I think it's always worth giving it a try, because as long as you have a backup plan, as long as you're not like, you know what, I'm going to quit my job that I've worked really hard to get, I'm not going to get back, I'm going to quit my job to go pro. Maybe that's not the best idea, but, you know, I feel like if you've got, like, nothing to lose, and as long as you're very realistic about it and you set yourself limits on, if I'm not doing this well by this time, I will move on, I think it can be a fun experience, right? It's something that you like doing. Anyways, this Adept is causing absolute chaos because there's just no units out. A Marine and a Hellion. The Adept will decide to recall back home. The SCV will continue to build the command center, but this is already Zest getting into a great position here in game number 1. What's up, Dystopia AOL, coming in with the fresh new subscription. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Did I say you should go for it? I honestly, like, I don't necessarily think you'll make it. I just think as long as you're very realistic with yourself and you... Zest dances the Oracle. I think if you're very realistic with yourself with goals and what you want to achieve and stuff like that, then, yeah, then I think you'll have a very, then I think it can be okay. Just don't go throwing away opportunities or other chances in life to try and do something that's not really going to work out, right? Like, you have to realize that to go pro in StarCraft is something that so few people manage to do, right? Anyways, that's all I'm going to say on it as we kick this off. We see the Raven on the way up, tank coming out. Marines gathering together. You can see the Prism and the Blink is on the way up, so getting that going. Observer gonna go towards the upper right-hand side of the map. And again, the Nexus is dropping down on the third base. Nexus dropping down on the third. Blink gonna be finishing up in a moment or two. Prism on the way out. I'm going to be coming in towards the upper right-hand side. Stalkers coming up. A couple of units going to start dropping out of the prism as well. And as you see, Raven tanks, Marines all gathering up. A couple of extra racks being thrown down. Depth shading through here doesn't quite commit just yet. Oh, it does actually, and the Stalkers are going to use the chance to blink on top of this. Well, I guess a bit of a couple of siege tanks here. The Stalkers do have blink. I'm just going to be seeing the just going down right here. Another tank going to go down. It's just GG. Zest just had way too good of a start here. Number 2 of the best of 3. As Zest is up a game so far. To the bottom right, our blue Terran, who is not going to be looking as good as he did in the first series. Let's hope he can get back into this. A failed proxy obviously did not help. Our blue Terran player is Time. And to the top left, our red Protoss, we have Zest. Found diamond free. What percentage of people are above below me? I think I don't actually know. Diamond is like, I think Mars is like 5-ish%, and Diamond is like 20%. It's like, I think Diamond free is like, I think Diamond plus is like 25% of the ladder. Because Bronze is like 8%, Silver's like 20, Gold's like 40, and then Plat's like, okay, it's not quite like that, but then it's like Plat's like 15 to 20 as well. Bro, since when are you casting? I've been casting for years. Does anyone know when the playoffs are? January 2nd for the round of 8, and the playoffs, the grand finals and semi-finals are not yet decided. Still being figured out. SCV hanging out over here as we see the probe coming in and Zest just running around in a couple of circles. I'm just going to be seeing that command center dropping down as Zest coming over, nibbles that SCV, and just going to be backing away. Have I ever considered being a pro player myself? No. When I started casting a lot, I lost the chance to. When I started casting a lot, I lost the chance to really play enough to ever consider that. I never thought about being a pro player. But I don't think I was ever playing enough to consider it in the first place, you know? Depths just coming chasing down the Reaper. As it comes down to the bottom right. Nexus is about to finish up on the natural. Time changed his name. No, this is just his Korean account is called Aventador for whatever reason. You know, StarCraft players, apparently it's really difficult to actually have an account named your actual username. Man, this probe makes the Adept two-shot the Marines instead of three-shot. That was actually kind of sick. The probe got a shot on one Marine, got a shot on the other Marine. That was actually really sick right there. That actually went really well for him. Probe made a bit of a difference as the Stalker comes over, but nothing to defend with at the moment. Another Marine popping out. But that will be it for a moment or two here. Poking its way through the supply depot, getting quite a bit of damage done. SCVs are going to pull over and start to repair up the depot now. As the Reaper throws down a grenade, bops that Stalker up into the sky. Orbital Command going to lift up, drop down into the natural here, and again a couple of SCVs being picked off so far. And I'm just going to be seeing the Stalker just rolling backwards and forwards on the natural Reaper. Going to be heading back up in towards the upper left-hand side. Blink on the way out. Wolfgate coming in. All of this getting set and ready to go. Reaper taking a little bit more damage. Going to need to pop a Stalker off to the side. And you see the rover facility. Still just coming up in the main base here as the Stalkers will still gather up. Sentry finishing in. I mean, very standard stuff here from Zest, so I'm kind of interested to see what Time can do, because Time in the normal games against Zest earlier looked absolutely unbeatable. Like, Zest just looked as though he had absolutely no chance in the world of being able to take him down. So, going in towards a more standard game again now for game number 2 here. Well, I hope time brings us a little bit of that same sort of passion and some of that same sort of hype, because it was very cool to watch before as we see this Reaper going to get pushed away out down to the bottom right side of this.
Game paused.
Zest is going to have a pause. Time had a pause when he played against Zest earlier. Now Zest has a pause. Not everyone should be a pro player. We need a pro casters too. I mean, I never even set out to be a pro caster, like way back when. When I first started casting, I just did it because I was running a couple of little tournaments. I thought it'd be cool if someone casted it, so I started casting, and then I helped out casting somewhere else, and we just casted a few things here and a few things there. Built up over time, and here we are today. Kind of a crazy journey, actually, if you think about it. Like, the whole thing is pretty ridiculous overall. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. Getting set up into this, guys. We have this game, though. Charge coming up. +1 attack and +1 armor coming down as well. How do I enter pro tournaments? There's a lot of online cups that just have open sign-up that you can find the sign-up for. I guess a lot of this stuff is like invited and stuff, but like IEM qualifiers, WCS qualifiers, you can sign up for all of those openly. Marine here from Time is going to come out and then cross towards the upper left-hand side, so it's Marine heading in towards the upper left again. The charge is about 60% of what they've done so far. Templar Archives will also get dropped down here. Five extra gateways coming down in the main, as we do see the bottom side. The Stalker's still hanging out, and again a couple of siege tanks getting set up here. Cyclone, Marines, and the Raven. Before he went for a big push with a setup like this, but this game he has a third command center, which has slowed down his upgrades, such as 1-1 stim and combat shields. He only goes for the +1 attack as well, which is something that earlier he had 1-1 with. So again, different builds to before. Interesting to see how it goes. Still the same idea though. Still has that Raven, still has the tanks, although switching into mines as well as we continue to set this up. Never would have mind going to get burrowed as we see the Stalkers going to come in from the left down into the center. Again, +2 attack and +2 armor being chrono boosted out. And again, just going to see Storm continue to come in. Going to come up to being about halfway done. +1 attack on the way up, about to finish here in a moment or two. As we are going to be seeing a probe coming down the left side. Archon walking in on this left side as well, so that's going to be finishing up in a moment or two here. More medevacs by you installed, just on the way out as a little bit of biostem forward. Stalker's having to blink away off over to the left-hand side now. Coming all the way over to this left side. And as you see, if you really don't mind, starting to set up at the moment. Again, the tanks will start to siege up, but mine's actually pretty good here so far. And the armor missile on the Stalker. Oh, the Stalker's blinked away to minimize the anti-armor. That's actually really nice. Never would have mind on the Zealots there. Storm's coming in, flanking from the side. They don't get the best of Storm's though, and they don't become an Archon in time. There's enough to clean this up, and Time will have to pull away. Ooh, one gets blown up as well. Blinks in, gets the Raven. Bio will turn to fight. Still not a lot left over here, but I mean, a little bit more Bio kind of still stemming in every now and then. Stalkers almost being baited to blink in towards these mines. They'll instead go in and blink away, setting the Widow Mines onto cooldown, but not going to chase. Fourth base up from Zest. He'll just back off and rebuild here a little bit. The 2-2 upgrade's about to finish. He's about to have a huge upgrade lead in this game. 2-2 against 1-0. And that's going to make it so tough for Time to be able to fight. His engagements are going to be so underpowered in comparison to what Zest can do here. As these medevacs unload, picking off a pylon. And now going to move back over to the side. The Stalker's starting to come down. Double High Temple here, going to drop double Storm. It does cover the army, bringing it down to about half health. Another Storm as well, and that's one time just has to back away from. Can't run through that to chase down units. Plus 3 armor being chrono boosted on the forge now as well. Bottom left hand side of 5th base getting started also. Still this army from Zest getting ready to come in. And again, a few Widow Mines just coming down onto the bottom side. Prism loads up, coming across. A few more Stalkers and Zealots getting set to go. And two Zealots continue to run around here at the moment as we do see Zest still just trying to poke forwards. Going to be trying to come up this ramp. We see the units still gathering up. Couple Widow Mines on the left side clean up. Links. Oh, the Zealots. Oh my god, my camera just went wild. The Zealots actually running into a lot of Widow Mines there. They get cleaned up pretty fast, but the Storms are very good, and his fire continues to be cleaned out at the moment. 11 more Zealots warping in. I think there's 11 more Zealots. Oh, they come in just before the Prism dies. I think that's going to be too much, and Zest takes down time in the rematch.